Happy Friday! We made it. What a crazy week. It's been wild. It's been sunny, then it snowed, now it's rained. It doesn't know what the hell it's doing. But either way, we survived. So congratulations. Welcome to Friday night with us. I want to say hi to everybody in the audience. See who's joined us. So we've got, of course, Ashley. How you doing, dear? Great to see you. Smiley Girl. Hey, dear. How you doing there? Got Wild Angel. Hello, love. So glad you could join us tonight. And see Hope Giver. Hi, Mom. How we doing? Oh, Alpha Cruz, the man in the jungle. How you doing, brother? So, ought to be a fun time. Got something planned special for you. But as you know, it's Friday night. We're going to have some fun. So, got a couple rules here. Mi casa is su casa, but a couple things got to obey. Number one, kick your shoes off. We're going to stay a while, have some fun. No reason to rush off. Plus, you're probably muddy given all the rain out there. Second of all, the bar is always open. So, fix yourself a drink. Better yet, make it two. You never know what could happen. And of course, we always have munchies and snacks galore. Tonight's treat is the Easter Bunny. Thank you very much, Easter Bunny. So we got a bunny to work on. But either way, we're going to have some fun. So I want to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop in. I know it's been kind of crazy. And tonight's topic is going to be interesting because we're going to talk about degens and ducks. Wait. How does that even go together? Yeah. Interesting enough. You get a crazy guy like me and everything goes together. But speaking of that, one thing I want to point out to everybody out there, if you're not aware, April is Autism Awareness. Easy for me to say, Autism Awareness Month. And so, especially where we have a lot of people in our family and in our community that deal with autism or a lot of difficulties, things like that. It's one thing that I always like to shout out there and say, hey, be kind, be passionate. Remember that they're just different. Obviously, words are difficult today. See, this is what it does to you. The people that are different usually have a very different skill set. Maybe they're not as social or as mature or whatever it may be, but oftentimes they're much more creative, artistic, or emotional. So if you have somebody or know somebody who has autism, really try and help them out and realize that they're not special. They don't have a disability. They have a gift. And that's very much how I look at it. I myself am high-functioning autism. My middle son is also autistic. I know Cyril is high-functioning autism. And so, some of the great people in our community have these types of characteristics that someone say is, a mental disorder, something like that. It's like, nah. To me, I think it's a superpower. I think if you can go through life with something like autism and always be smiling, come out the other side, that's impressive. So, more power to them. And, big shout out to everybody out there who's just a little bit different. And if you're different, well, you're probably right here with us because we're all crazy. So let's get this show on the road. Now, of course, I can't do this all by myself, so I always have a gang of people today. And I've always got to introduce the most loveliest, most beautiful, and sweetest wife in the whole wide world, Miss Wild Angel. How you doing, dear?
I'm good, and you are such a liar.
Am I out of trouble now?
No, you weren't in trouble.
Oh, okay. Well, I was checking. Some days I am, and there's days I don't even know I'm in trouble. So I got to ask.
There we go.
So how's your week been? Wow, you're way too. Tip that down some. That's better. Now when you sit back, you're seeing like the top part of your head, like looks like that weird neighbor guy. Like, hello.
Anyway, enough with messing with the camera.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's just been kind of a crazy week and started full out audits at work, and so melting my brain on a daily. Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Smiley says some weeks Serenity, it's going to say kick off your shoes and pull out some totally unexpected shoes.
I'm gonna grab my shoes.
I'm gonna get some Crocs or something. The funny thing is
fuzzy slipper day because it is so freaking cold and wet.
Yeah, what the hell happened with that? That was crazy.
Oh, it was 70 degrees day before yesterday.
Right. And today it snowed.
Yeah.
And I guess Cyril had an earthquake today. He told me this morning. Like, how does that even happen, man?
Yeah, they got hit by like a 4.5.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yay for fuzzy slippers.
Yes.
Definitely fuzzy slippers.
Awareness month. Yeah, that's me, Alpha Cruz, man. English is tough for me. My number one language is gibberish, next with profanity, occasionally with bad English, and then after that is just rage. So I'm not even sure English is on my list of vocabulary list. And Smile says, oh, cool. Mom is autistic. I will give her extra love this month. Absolutely. Because it's tough. It's a challenge, and people don't realize that. Oftentimes, people make fun of me. It's like, oh, well, you always say you have a bad memory. That must be real convenient for you. It's like, no. Do you know what it's like to not be able to remember your own children's birthdays? I can't. Or my wife? I can't. I know my birthday and my mother's, and that's it. I don't remember my brother's, my children's.
Frequently, he forgets when. He knows it's coming, but he doesn't know when it's coming.
Yeah.
His time spatialness gets messed up.
It does. It makes life very challenging. So yeah, give her a big hug for us, Smiley. And having a mom that has a superpower like that, got to be pretty awesome. So, love you, Mom. It's a pair of flip-flops. Oh no, I hate flip-flops. Never happen, Alpha. Don't worry.
Oh, he will run them through the chipper, the shredder. We're not allowed to wear flip-flops around here. He hates that smacky sound. Ooh, I'm to the point I don't like it either. So no, flip-flops don't fly.
Right. And speaking of smacky sounds, one thing that has been brought to my attention from the community is my vaping sometimes can be distracting. So I'm going to try to build up a new habit. And if I botch it or I skip it or I miss it, I do apologize in advance, but I'm going to start putting vape. So I got it set up. I'll try not to forget. If I do apologize in advance.
He's learning a new habit.
It takes a while. It's not easy. So I may start talking and be muted, and you guys will have to yell at me, or I won't. Yeah. Either way, it's gonna be fun. But as you know, it's not a party with two. I mean, that's just a hot date. Although, sounds like a good idea, but this is now that could be kind of weird. Everybody watching our hot date. Now that's just weird. Let's make it a party.
Yeah, please.
So I can never fly alone. I always got to have my wingman move. It's gonna be one of those nights.
Oh no, we need to put you in the corner and let you play with something soft.
Yeah, I like it. So I always gotta have a wingman with me. Gotta have some backup. So of course, the one I always call on is none other than Mr. Crow. How you doing, brother?
I am doing great. How is everyone up here?
Trying not to hurt myself. Does that count?
I think it does.
I think so. Yeah, Alf Cruz says, no dates for Serenity. Yeah, no. That would just be weird, having a date on live camera. Yeah,
no.
Something about that just seems creepy.
That's not, no, that's hell no.
Ooh. Oh, hell no. And Smiley says, hi, Crow. So, Crow, how was your week, buddy?
Didn't kill anyone. I'm not in jail. I'm not on fire. So good.
That's a win.
That's a win in my book.
It's all right. But, Crow, it still seems kind of like a date with the third wheel, so we don't want to do that. So, of course, I brought you a partner in crime just to keep you out of trouble while you keep me out of trouble. And we call on nobody else but the man down under, Mr. Alpha Cruz. How you doing, brother?
We can't be having third wheels. It doesn't work like that. You need at least a fourth wheel always a day. It's like
exactly
just how it works.
Right.
Yeah, we don't do tricycles.
Yeah, on tricycles they tend to fall over. They're unstable. Now you get four wheels, man. You got a party. You're rocking now.
You're really rocking now. You might as well go off-road too.
Exactly.
I'm off-road, so.
Obviously, yeah, you're way off-road, but yeah, in fact, it looks like your VW broke down in the jungle and you're staying off-road permanently.
You see, they stopped making the parts. That's the problem. You know how it goes with VWs.
Yeah, does that with a lot of old cars. In fact, I did a dump run the other day, and I've got a 74 K5 Blazer, and hooked up the trailer. I start going down the road, and I realize it's not shifting into drive. I got first, I got second, but I don't seem to have third gear. Drive's gone. So I was like, oh, well, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, the old rigs, they break down from time to time. We got to give them some love. But then again, don't we all?
Yeah. We all need a little bit of that. A little, what's it, TLC, I guess is the term?
Yep. Tender love and care. So, what exciting has happened in your week, Alpha? Fill us in, buddy.
Not much really, but I did have a chance to speak to the creators, the founders of Pocket Universe, and they said they'll be opening up beta for the new Guardians program, and I'll be on that shortlist. So that is very exciting to me.
Nice.
Because I've been asking them. I've been like, when Pocket Guardian Alpha? When? And then they were like, right now things are a little quirky, but soon. I was like, yes, finally.
Nice.
Very exciting for me.
Awesome. Well, yeah, things have been very quirky. I mean, as you guys know, in the video I did about the helium miner, I broke my phone trying to sign up for the helium network. Thought my phone would have the eSIM capability. It didn't. So I've been without a phone for like 5 days now. And my SIM card got in today. Finally got a phone again. It's like, yay. And then you've got Solana network. Man, that thing is getting wrecked. That is an absolute train wreck.
I think it was last night. I was trying to just place one trade. I just wanted one trade. Just wanted to swap a token, and it was like, I approve, and then it's like, oh, problem. I'm like, what? What do you mean problem? Try again. Another problem. Yo. I'm just like pressing, and then eventually, and I was like, I'm never trading again. I was like, I'm taking this as a sign.
Right. And, you know, a lot of it was the meme coins that started out because, I mean, they're exploding everywhere. But I just stumbled across a video today talking about a brand new DeFi project that has actually launched mining on the Solana blockchain. But it's not actually mining Solana. It's mining their token utilizing the Solana blockchain. And apparently it's causing some problems. So, yeah, it's been sketchy. I've been trading a few memes here and there. But, I mean, one I tried to sell today 7 times before it finally went through.
Holy cow.
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Ew.
And by then my profits dropped in half. Like, well, damn, that sucks. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like that's why people were using Solana for trading. It's like instant transactions, but now you have to wait 7 times, and you're like, now where's my profit, man? Where's my profit? Because then other people tried selling too.
Yeah, everybody's fighting to do it, and especially if you're trying to sell the one thing everybody's trying to do, because it's about to do that pullback, and you're like, okay, so I bought here, I'm gonna sell it here, then it pulls back, and you're like, maybe I broke even. A couple of them I actually lost a little bit. It's like, it shouldn't have happened if it weren't for the network.
Yeah.
Things are getting crazy. And, yeah. And yeah, Smiley says, congrats, Alpha! So, as you guys know, I'm gonna be doing a video on the Helium Mobile, the $20 a month cell phone plan. That'll be coming up shortly. But I got a new toy today. I'm going to give you guys the alpha of it.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Alta.
Oh, looks cool. What is that?
XNet miner. That is an XNet miner. It was getting promoted by Tactical Investing. Did some research on it. Dug into it. Thought, you know what? For the discount of the tokens I'm getting, things like that, I'm going to give it a shot. Because after the initial tokens they give you, it's like an $80 investment. So I'll give it a shot. I'll be doing a video on it here in the next week or so to let you guys know how it works, what it does. But yeah, keep your eyes out. That'll be coming up. So, new toys. It was a toy day.
But you got your phone working now.
Yes, my phone works. What is it?
Two little duckies. Ha, ha, ha.
Get in more. Oh. One ducky. Oh.
Gotcha.
2 ducky. Oh.
I'm using them as row counters tonight. So
Got it. Okay. So, you know, and I'm really kind of surprised that Cyril's not here or anything, but either way, I want to let you guys know we are not sponsored, but we are going to sponsor Ring. So one of our sponsors tonight, or one of the, it's not a sponsor, what do we call it? Somebody we're promoting. There you go. Not really promoting, we're just saying they're awesome. Is none other than, I forgot to do this. Entire screen. Turn that on. There we go. Da-da-da! Project Duck Depression. Now, if you guys haven't heard about Project Duck Depression, it's one that Cyril and Rose set up, and it's all about making people's lives happier by just depositing little ducks all over the world. Because we're all dealing with depression, we're all dealing with problems, and so you'd be surprised how much one of these little tiny ducks will make your life better.
It just randomly shows up somewhere.
Right. And so it's a lot of fun. Baby ducks are a blast, and in fact, I seem to have a whole herd of them in my studio.
That would
Not sure
be a
how
flop.
that happened. But yeah, I have a flock. Flock. Yes, I didn't say the other thing. No, not yet. That comes later. Yes, baby duckies. They are the cutest. I agree. Oh, those are so adorable, baby. They are awesome baby duckies. And so it's one of those things we definitely want to promote. Definitely go to the Facebook page. I'll put a link in the description down below. But apparently, I think it was Hope Giver dropped some little ducks around a medical facility a couple days ago. And somebody had gotten on and posted that they found that, and that made their day. So I think it's awesome.
Did Mom do it?
Mom did drop some off, but I don't know if it was her duck or not because it looked like a blue one. And all moms are yellows.
Cyril sent that to me, and he said it was in Illinois.
Oh, okay. So it's not us. Yeah, we're not.
It wasn't us. But yeah, Mom started it here.
Yep, she did. And so now I was really kind of hoping Cyril was here, but he's not. So I'll fast forward to that till later. But the other one that we always promote and that we love is none other than Karma Farm Sanctuary, who also inspires. There we go. Man, I'm having problems with English tonight, guys. Sorry about that. So literally, the things that inspire me every single day are baby ducks and Karma Farm Sanctuary. So if you haven't checked him out before, definitely go check out Yabonks and learn about the Karma Farm Sanctuary. Sadly, he did not go live tonight. Apparently, he forgot what day it was. Brother, I got to get you a watch with a calendar because, yeah, you keep forgetting everything. But we still love you, man.
He was hyper-focused on some of his projects that he's working on.
That makes sense. And it's easy to do. I mean, I come in the studio and I get lost for hours. It's like, whoa, where have you been? It's like, in there? Did you?
In the black hole.
Where have you been?
Exactly. I agree. Yes, Alpha, words are hard today. I'm having a hell of a time with words. I don't know what the deal is.
Well, you didn't get to follow all your pattern today.
True. My pattern has been absolute chaos all week. Although today I did get the opportunity to sit down and game with the boys for a few hours, and it was all of them at once, not just Crow this night and then Gage that night and then Horatio this. It was all of us got there.
Hi, Rick.
And we got to some gaming. Ah, there he is! Yabonks, my man! We were just talking about you. Were your ears burning, brother? You know, we just covered the daily inspiration, which is, of course, Karma Farm Sanctuary and the Baby Duck family. Because they are with us all the time.
You need a big duck at the end.
Yeah.
Like a little bunch of little ones.
I found a pattern for those. Crocheted rubber duckies.
Can you crochet rubber?
I was just thinking
They
that.
look like rubber duckies, but they're crocheted. Give me a break.
Then they're not rubber duckies.
No, they're not.
See, words are hard. There we go. We're all on the word thing. Smile says, you box!
Words have been hard.
Yeah, what is the pattern at this point?
Yeah, it's going to be a long night. I can tell. It's a hitbox. What's a pattern at this point? Man, I don't know what a pattern is. You got me. I feel you, brother. Everything has been absolute chaotic. Mine has been a mess. Yours has been chaos all week. Good. I thought it was just me, so it's got to be something in the air, something in the water.
Are we getting water from Florida?
The rain that's been falling, it got picked up in Florida. There you go. See? Now we know what it's like to be a Florida night. What is that, a Floridian, or what do you call that?
Floridian? That sounds like dinner. A Floridian has to be like a Florida dinner.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I love it.
Hey, I'll give you guys a quick Piggy update. Piggy had problems. Piggy had issues. So we're working on a different pattern and working on a prototype to get a color change to work right. And then we'll start it with hair again. But yeah, Piggy had problems.
Poor Henry had technical difficulties, went in for surgery. It didn't go so well, so he's still in recovery. Might have to go in for another surgery and then it should be fine, right?
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on the reconstructive surgery.
Yes, not the real Henry. Please understand. The real Henry is fine, best in my knowledge.
The crocheted Piggy.
Yes, crocheted Henry. So, but
see Henry.
Exactly. But to be honest, that's one of the things that I love about Wild Angel is she'll get partway through. It's like, you know what? It's not good enough. It doesn't inspire. Ain't gonna do it. Forget it. And so throw it aside.
Trash.
Nope.
It'll go in the trash.
So that's why when we say, when you win a one-of-a-kind, made from the heart, crocheted critter, it really is made from the heart. And if it's not to her specifications or good enough to get the Wild Angel seal approval, it goes in the trash. It doesn't get made and passed off to somebody. No, it just gets burnt. That's it. Sacrifice.
Why do I
Round
send this
two.
image of like a pentagram and everyone just like surrounding this like crocheted pig and be like, sack of rice, sack of rice.
Did you say sack of rice?
He did say that.
Yes, I did.
Oh my god, yeah, it's gonna be a long night, guys. Oh my god, that's gonna be great. And that's why I said that's because Wild Angel Creations have heart. Absolutely, they do. Most definitely. We have a ton to hand at the hospital. Can't wait. Awesome. Yeah, Ashley, spread them all over the place. I know Wild Angels ordered a whole bag of them. I seem to have little
800.
duckies invading my office. Yeah,
Oh,
they're
if
everywhere.
anybody's interested, Amazon had 800 little tiny glitter ducks for $40, which makes them about $5 per 100, which is cheaper than even what I found on Temu.
Now, I do know that there is a link on Project Duck Depression that I know Sarles put up there. And if you utilize that, part of that goes back to Project Duck Depression to help found the project itself. So
I don't do social media, so
fair enough. Let me see if I can find that for you guys, and I'll put it in the chat.
thank
But
you,
if you
love.
haven't signed up yet, definitely jump into Project Duck Depression, because this is one of the inspiring moments or inspiring topics of our conversation tonight. And if you read the announcement earlier, the topic tonight is ducks and degens. Wait a minute. How do ducks and degens go hand in hand? I'm glad you asked, Crow. That's a great question, buddy. Let me answer that for you.
Thank you.
Sure, happy to do it. You like I just throw you under the bus on that one? So there's an interesting correlation, and Alex Yabonks has pointed this out many times, is in the community of degens, which is what we are. If you go out in the real world, most normal, I call them normal, I call them boring, but that's okay. Most normal people consider crypto investors as degenerates. We're not traditional finance. We're not long-term building profits. We're gamblers. I mean, that's all we're doing. We're investing in crypto, which is a scam. Everybody's thieves, or we're degenerates. Y'all suck. But there's something I noticed, and Project Duck Depression really kind of brings us together, is these degenerates who oftentimes, like myself, I make a few bucks, I invest a little bit here, and that's it. That's all I got. I don't have a job anymore, so literally whatever I make here, that's it. And it's not that much. I promise, trust me, it's pretty bad. Those are the first ones who will say, hey, do you need help? Let me send you some crypto. Let me help in that surgery for Henry. Let me get on and promote. Let me get a t-shirt that says Karma Farm Sanctuary. Let me be the one to help support a good cause. Now, these are the degenerates. These are the ones who traditional people say it's all scammers and thieves. And so why is it that the degens of the world are the first and usually the most generous, even though they seem to have the least? It's interesting, isn't it? Have you guys noticed that fact?
100%.
Yep. Seen it a lot. I think it reminds me, Nexus, remember with Nexus chat he mentioned, what was it, print or something? Damn it, I can't remember anymore. But anyway, with that community, like, it's all degenerate things. It's a meme token of sorts, and yet that people were always so willing to just help as soon as someone needed help. They were just like, they literally paid for someone's living expenses because that person was kicked out of the house that they were in. What was it? It got it had to be closed and demolished, and then like they were just like, now we'll help you out. It's like, wow.
Right. So it's interesting. I mean, we're, as far as most people in the world, we're the scum. We're the degens. We're gamblers. We're drinkers. We're smoke. We do all the wrong things. Yet we are the first ones who will pull over on the side of the road, help you out. You say you've got a problem. We're there. We got your back. And it's interesting how this goes together. And yeah, Yabunks, I agree. It's fascinating to really think about. Now, you've pointed out to me several times, and we've seen it time and time again in our fundraisers, in our events. The ones who society qualifies as the least acceptable are the ones who accept the most and assist the most to others. Really seems odd, doesn't it? It's kind of twisted. And Ashley says we just got our Karma Fart shirt and they're awesome. Yes. Woo-hoo, woot, 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 woot. Yes, Karma Fart, baby, with that right there, always inspired. So congrats, Ashley. Super soft, aren't they? They're amazingly soft.
And they get softer
They do.
after a couple washes. They're even. Haven't you noticed that, honey?
Yes. Yeah,
They
it's
get
almost like
softer.
silk. Yeah, the more I wash
That
it, the
is
more
cool.
silky it gets, baby.
Damn.
Oh, they're
That's
amazing.
dope.
I wish all
Absolutely.
t-shirts were like that.
Yeah, me too. I've got some that are,
Yeah.
I swear, they're made out of sandpaper.
I need to get with your guy, Alex, and find out where he gets
What's
those
his
damn
secret?
shirts.
Right here. Yeah. What kind
Give
of
me the
strange
secret
voodoo
sauce.
is-
Voodoo
Get out.
magic.
Yeah. What is that voodoo you do so well? And it says, Ashley, they're so freaking soft. Oh, congrats, Ashley. I hope they're wearing it everywhere. Absolutely. The sweatshirts are having. I haven't gotten a sweatshirt yet. I knew it was going to get warm, and I don't do sweatshirts very often, but might have to get
No,
one just
they
to hang on
don't.
my wall or something back there, because I got a big empty spot right there waiting for something. And if I don't get any critter art to hang, I might just have to buy myself a sweatshirt to hang it, because I've just been waiting for my Gimli art or my Godric art or somebody art.
And then we'll just pin the art to the sweatshirt.
Ooh, there we go.
And no, the
Shirts
shirts don't have tags. He loves that. Or
Yes.
Oh, that is
Him.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. Okay, that is amazing. 'Cause those
I'm wishing I
and tags.
I hate
Oh
those.
man.
tags suck.
You know
Yeah,
what?
as soon
Something
as
I've
you get a
noticed.
shirt, cut it out.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. I've noticed more and more shirts. The tags that come with them, they're like. I always tear mine out. That's always something I've always done. And it seems like the more recent shirts that I've been getting, they have like an almost easy tear. Like they come off super easy.
Oh.
They've done that on purpose.
Hey, can't hear you. You're muted.
Hit the button, honey. There you go.
See? Thank you.
You're
I'm trying to
welcome.
learn a new pattern, guys. And so, yeah, if you're just tuning in, you missed that. I am trying to mute when I vape, just to help the audience, because I know a couple of people mentioned it's irritating to a degree. So I'm trying to do that, but please keep an eye on me. If I forget to unmute, let me know. I need babysitting.
The universal sign is.
I gotta pay attention first. I have no problems with that, with this and that and everything else.
That's why I just said it out loud.
Absolutely. So, thank you, Alex. And you're the best, brother, because you helped inspire me here. So I appreciate that. And see, it's YouTube. Yes, I agree. YouTube plaque. It says Alpha plans to debut them during Sweetie's hospital treatment next week. We're going to fundraise online, wear the gear, and read V for vegan. Oh, I like it. Nice choice, Ashley. Well said. Okay, so let's go back to the topic. So Alex even said, it's so interesting to think about. And you know, it really is. Yes, I'm changing gears. Sorry. That's the great thing about autism is I can go 3 directions in a split second. Everyone's like, where did he go? It's like, we don't know. We just watch him go. It's fun. It's like a ping pong ball.
It's
Fine.
like I missed the page turn.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Sometimes
Sorry.
you gotta go 5 pages ahead and go back to the 3rd page and be like, okay, so where did we leave off?
Exactly. And it's like, oh, I wasn't even in that book. Wrong book. I'm gonna grab this. And I
You
do
know,
that a
having
lot.
the conversations.
Pretty little ducky. Oh,
Ah.
oh, nice. So, I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. So, why is it? What makes a degen more generous? It's not because they have more, for the most part. Is it because they have a gambling mindset? Is it because I'm really curious? What are your thoughts? So, Carl, why don't you start off? But why is it that you think a degenerate, as society classifies it, is oftentimes more generous than one of those upstanding society people?
I had to make an educated guess, I'd have to say it's something to do with the reason why they are so-called degenerate. There was a cause for that, and the cause of that's probably not positive. So that probably correlates with that, how they've been there. They don't want anyone else to be there, so they're understanding about that. So why let someone else suffer when you know their pain?
Okay, so you think it's more compassionate based or empathy based, or actually no,
Definitely
sympathy based, right?
I don't think sympathy is the right word.
Okay, compassion.
Passion, yeah, that's a good word.
Okay,
And that's
It's
probably
interesting.
not the whole picture, but I definitely think that for some people that is what plays in with it.
okay. See, is like dealing with Henry. It's something I definitely love to do. I love helping with the animals. Yet I'm not vegan. I have no problem eating a BLT. Not gonna lie. We've got birds and cats and dogs and turtles and critters all over the place. But it's something that I think is worth donating my time, donating my funds to help. Even though, even though I am not vegan. So it's interesting. So you're saying the baseline is to avoid the trauma that you have experienced yourself, and that's why the degens seem to be the most generous. Okay. Interesting philosophy. I like that. So let me know in the audience. So let me know in the chat. What do you guys think of crows? Do you think that's the primary, or how would you rank that? Say like 1 to 10. 10 being that's the most likely, and 1 being the least likely. Love to hear your thoughts. So Alpha Cruz, what about you, buddy? What do you think the common denominator is?
Well, I will agree for the most part with what Crow says, but I would also say that, like, with what we do, what we degenerates do, like if you traded a meme coin, you kind of degenerate. So let's put it there. What we tend to do is that we not most of us aren't exactly darks. So it's easier. There's no societal pressure. Like you're going to donate, no one's going to know you donated. There's none of that. Oh, I see you donated to this or things like that. It's just like you do it, and everyone is just like, oh, cool, you did this. How about I join you? It's like you have that more community basis to it because you just know these people here, and you have this like-mindedness. But when you go to a more traditional thing, it's just like someone's going to judge you, and that non-judgmentalness is probably a very big factor of why people are more willing to help as compared to, your average coffee shop worker or something.
Interesting. Okay. And so I could see that. So in society, if somebody walks in, well, I just donate so-and-so to somebody's political career, it's like, oh, so you're a Republican or Democrat. I mean, it becomes this huge bickering fest. Oh, he did, she did, that. And then you're competing. Now it's a popularity contest. But you're saying here in the DeFi space where most people are not doxxed, they are anonymous, that doesn't exist. So therefore, people are free to do whatever they feel is right. And they oftentimes go with what their friends or who they respect goes with.
I mean, we're much more likely to form cliques in the DeFi space. We're more likely to find people we actually agree with as compared to in a normal everyday thing where you might find someone you think you agree with, but then, behind closed doors, you're completely the opposite kind of people. But with here, you have no reason to hide. You just are. And it's like, it's so much easier to get along with people because there's nothing that they're really hiding from you. Maybe their faces and their names, but people are more honest when you don't know who they are.
That's a great point. And before I dive into that one, I want to read Smiley's comment here. It says, I agree with Crow. Empathy is a big reason why we want to help others. We're all outcasts to an extent, and we tend to empathize with others who are struggling in any way. Yeah, I agree with you, Smiley, because yes, not many people are, I guess, as wholehearted or as open and verbal about their trauma and their past screw-ups like me. I tend to be very vocal, but most people aren't. And I think that goes hand in hand with what you're saying, Alpha, is in normal society, when you're face-to-face, when you're talking to Bob or Tom or whoever it is, there's that fear of judgment. There's that fear of, oh, but if I tell them I've done this or whatever, they're going to judge me. Or it lets people be more themselves with the anonymity. And I think that goes hand in hand with what Smiley's saying is, you can be empathetic because you don't have to admit or take accountability for whatever trauma you've experienced. You don't have to share it. You can secretly hold it, not have to put it in the world, like if you were in person, and you can still help those others going through that type of situation or just help people who are having a bad day. So I think that you correlate. It's kind of interesting how that works.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is cool. Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I suppose it's a multitude of factors. It's just like some things tend to play better on people's minds than others.
Right. And it's interesting
You know,
because I think we all
sympathy because of
good. You're good.
I
I
was saying
thought I muted
sympathy
myself.
because shared experience. You don't want. Oh. Okay. I was saying so. You know, like Creo said, sympathy. Well, not sympathy, compassion, because people have experienced similar things, so they don't want other people to go through it. But also that fact that you're not having any sort of judgment on you just makes it easier. It's relieving, I guess. That's how I would put it.
Interesting. Okay, so now let me ask you guys, because there seems to be a correlation as far as having to feel some connection to the cause. Do you guys ever donate to a cause that you aren't connected to or know nothing about? It's like, okay, that just seems worthwhile. Maybe I should donate to that.
Me
Yeah.
personally,
I have.
Girl, you haven't? Well, Angel has. How about you, Alpha?
I have. I think it was a while ago. It was something with water, helping communities have more water security, improving water security in some African countries. I mean, I know I'm from Africa too, but it seems very unrelated to me. I was like, okay, that is cool. Yeah, you take crypto, fine. Here you go, take a crypto.
Gotcha. Okay. And Ashley says she has, and I know I have. I know I've absolutely gone by. If it's somebody at, like Walmart or something out in front, or they're doing a fundraiser, I have no idea what they're doing. But it's like, you know what? Somebody is coming out here, and it's really that person. They feel passionate enough about that cause to come stand in front of a grocery store and set up a table or whatever it is. And if it's to help them for $5, just to let them know that they are a valuable person, whatever they're doing, I don't have to know why. It's more about them sharing their passion. They have the guts to do that. Absolutely, I'm going to support you. I don't know what it is. It doesn't mean it's mine. You've got the guts to come out and do it. To me, that's what I'm supporting, is that individual who is putting themselves out there. So what about you, Angel? Why do you think that the degenerates appear to be more generous?
We are out there taking a risk every day by being in this space. We are risking our livelihoods. We're risking our reputations for those of us that are doxxed. We're risking a lot being here. Serenity quit his job and took on a new career to educate people about this. If that's not a risk, I don't know what is. And so I think we're more open and more willing to help others follow their dreams because we are working on following our own. A lot of us do. We've got trauma and drama. And so we don't necessarily know what they're going through, or we may not have experienced that exact same thing, but everybody's trauma is trauma. It's not whose is bigger, whose is better. So we help alleviate trauma where we can, because we are all crazy ass people who take risks in this space. And so we support those that are just like us.
And so it's interesting. That goes back to kind of what Alpha was saying as well, is, comparing trauma, whose trauma is worse. So I noticed out in the world, in society, when I went to recovery classes and stuff, you'd have people in there bickering, well, I did this, and I went to jail this long, and I did this, and I did this. It's like, who cares? We all screwed up. We're all here to learn. But I noticed the vast majority of people weren't there to learn. They were there to compete. Well, I did this, and they're like telling stories like, oh, look how amazing I am. Like, you're an idiot. Look how dumb you are, and you're still proud of it. That makes you stupid, in my book.
Oh, very true. That's also another dynamic that you see differently in crypto. Like people don't always compete in crypto. I mean, there'll definitely be some competition, but it's like people are more willing to hype each other up instead of compete in this degenerate space that we are in. Crazy how the kindest people are the degenerates.
Right. Wait. Now I gotta ask. Okay, I want to let everybody in the audience. So let me know. Do you think that we up here on stage, and probably you guys, have this opinion of ourselves? Is that delusional? Is that thinking we're better than others? Are we actually seeing things wrong? Let us know. What are your experiences? Do you find that those that have the least often give the most, or do you find it the other way around? I'm kind of curious. And Ashley says, I'm trying to undo generations of hell and set a good example for my kids. The world needs people to be community, something that needs to follow your heart, even when it's hard. Ashley, that is absolutely true. And it's one of those where I found out through my bout of addiction and going through recovery that the one thing, the defining factor that caused my addiction, all of it, was a concept called codependency. I didn't know what it was, never even heard of it. And I realized that I am a classic rescuer. And so in that act, I was creating trauma. Although I thought I was being a superhero, I'm helping, look at me, I'm rescuing this person, I'm rescuing this person. I'm a martyr, I'm amazing, I'll sacrifice. I found out, you know what, that's unhealthy. And I did not know it, didn't have a clue. And so I totally agree with you. Trying to change the cycle of life, if we're not taught or we don't know, is very, very challenging. So Ashley, my hat's off to you, dear, because it is hard to do.
And yes, Brené Brown is amazing, Ashley. If you've got the time, listen to that one about being wholehearted. Because I think that's what a lot of us in crypto do. We jump into this with both feet. How many times do we ape into a project because, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread and peanut butter and jelly. And we just jump in and let it all ride, and we're willing to risk it. That's the wholehearted. And so, oh, she's freaking amazing. I can't talk about her enough.
Absolutely.
And I probably spelled her first name wrong. It might just be an E with a accent, but you can get the idea.
Let's go see. Okay, so
thank you, love.
You're welcome. I'm happy to do this. So, yes, Brené Brown, and this is her talk on Wholehearted on TED Talk. So if you look at Brené Brown, it's like a 20-minute. The full version is 20-minute, and it is probably the most inspiring topic and discussion that I ever learned through recovery or through life, because it really made me think, and it brings about the concept of wholehearted. Now, Wild Angel, like you were talking, I've had people say I'm insane because Crow, Wild Angel, you guys were there over the last. Yeah, I'm crazy as a bedbug.
That's a bedbug.
Yeah, I've actually been diagnosed. I'm insane. We won't go into that. But the simple fact is, I continue to jump in. 2 years ago, I got in. 3 years ago, I don't know. A few years back, I got into crypto. Right at the top of the bowl, it's like, okay, we got to do this, got to do this. Started doing it, started learning, and then everything started going down. And I learned the hard way, trial by fire. It was horrible. I made people sit through classes. We educated. We learned all about it. But over all that time, over all that excitement, all those failures, and lost thousands of dollars, I never lost my passion. Now, most people say that's stupid. Okay, you keep trying and you keep failing. Isn't that just stupidity? I look at it more the whole light bulb concept. I didn't fail at making light bulb 4,000 times. I just found 4,000 ways not to make a light bulb. The Thomas Edison quote. And I'm kind of the same way. It's like, I just haven't found the right mix to get there yet, but I will. And that's what this time and education do, but it's not easy. It's challenging. I thought Alf was going to say something. His guy was going to... I'm trying to stop for you. Go ahead.
I was still thinking on the on the question from earlier. With the difference between wealthy and people that have less, it's a very weird thing to consider because if someone has a lot more money, if they do a donation of $10,000, but someone that has only $10,000 does a donation of like $1,000, the difference in, the rich person might have 1 million, so 10,000 is 1%, but then 1,000 or 10,000 is 10%. So like the net worth is just so different that you can't really compare. But also, it's like there's less people that are richer. So even if 2 out of 10, that's 20% of all the rich people. So it's like it's a very weird thing to kind of look at, because then at the end of the day, you're going to just say that majority of the people that aren't kind are the ones that have little money. But it's not that. It's just that they can't. Like people that are less fortunate tend to be friendly and will be willing to help other people, while people that are richer tend to just overlook it because for them it's like I've worked this hard to get here. Why don't you do that yourself? But they would be willing to make donations to things like a cancer fund or things that make sense to them
I
as
think he froze.
I suppose, business-minded people. So it's a very, very weird dynamic of where you can't really equate it properly because it's just two different worlds. At least that's my take on that.
I think people who have tons of money and make a big deal about giving it away.
Oh,
I think they're trying to make themselves feel better
yeah.
and trying to make others think better of them because there's something they're trying to cover up. Although those of us that don't have a whole lot, when we give that last $5 in our wallet and we're just like, here, you need this more than I do. Or Henry needs this more than I do. But it's the last of what we have for like the week or until the next payday or something. I think that speaks more to their soul rather than their public image. I have been in the grocery line and the person in front of me is $5 short. And what they're buying isn't extravagant things. This is like milk and bread and eggs, those basic staples. And I've had an extra, I knew pretty close what mine were going to come to. I had $5 left. I've paid for their last $5 of groceries because they needed it more than I did right then. I didn't need that Dutch Bros coffee. That's a splurge. They needed staples. They needed more than I did. And so, for me, that's where it is. For like Henry, I can't give them money. But you know what? I can crochet a pig that other people will want and will raise them the money that I can't give them. And it'll make them more in the long run. So I look at it that way.
And that's a great way to look at it. And I want to touch on this, but I want to catch up on comments because I don't want to forget anybody there. And somebody says, I think those who are as infamous persons just important, those who, when they eventually become famous, it's always about how we treat each other. It's a good point. And it is. Infamous, unfamous. Words are hard for me now. Yeah, me too. I feel you, dear. Yeah, words are not for us. That's why it's Friday night. We just have fun. We've got drinks and snacks. We just have a great time. Okay, and let's see. And Yubonk says, Mark 12:41 through 44, the widow's offering. And Yubonk, I don't know that, but I will have to look it up. I know I have a Bible. Although I've always said I'm very spiritual, but not religious. But I think there's some great lessons to be learned. So I will absolutely look that one up.
Oh, he summarized it for us.
Oh, thank you. The widow's offerings. Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. I'm guessing there's more of this. Okay.
Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in 2 small copper coins worth only a few cents. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put in more into the treasury than all of the others.
I like that.
Yep.
starting to tear up a little bit on that. And
I know. Stop that.
was good one, Alex. Nice job, buddy. And that's it. And that's what really, I know that's what inspires me. The people that have the least, they don't have to give money. If they give their time, their energy, it's like everybody who joins me here. Wild Angel, you're kind of stuck with me. I love you, but yeah, you're kind of cursed. You don't have to be here, as you know.
No, I don't.
So I truly appreciate that. Alpha Crew's Crow, man, you guys have a life. I know that. Alpha, I know it's the middle of the night for you, buddy. So your support and just being up here and having these conversations is truly the world to me. It really is. And everybody in the audience, spend your Friday nights with us. Deciding to come here and hang out with us instead of watching TV or playing with the kids or whatever you could be doing, you chose to be here. And that means the world to me. And I can't say thank you enough. And thank you is so hollow, so shallow. They're just words. The emotion and the support from all of you, both on stage, off stage, in the community, in the Discord, everybody is just amazing. And that's why, I can't not be here. Even the days that I don't feel like, it's like, I feel like shit, I don't want to go. No, I have to go. Because this is when I get energized. This is where I get refill of the soul. So thank you all.
I enjoy being here. So
Absolutely.
very happy to hop on.
Well, thank you, because I enjoy doing this.
And it was cool talks.
We do
Once
have a
I
lot
get
of fun
that
on
all the
this.
time.
We do, and it's interesting. And I mean, there's so many topics I want to hit on because you guys have touched on some great things. As far as the anonymity, you don't have the social barriers, you don't have the competition, things like that. And then Alpha, you really broke something down that a lot of people don't think about. Is if you think about the wealthy class and the poor class, well, us poor people, we outnumber the wealthy like 20 to 1 or 50. I don't know the numbers. So, of course, just the odds. Well, the odds say the poor can be more generous because there's more of them to be generous. There's very few rich people and a whole lot of poor people. So, of course, they're going to be more. It's like, wow, that's kind of a screwed up math argument, but I could see it. And I'm sure somebody's like, that's just because there's so many poor people. But, it's interesting.
That's another way to put it.
Yeah. When you start thinking about it, it's kind of wild, isn't it?
It is wild.
Yeah, Crow just blew his mind. It's like, wait, damn, that's what. Of course, there's more of us. We can do that. Fair enough.
But it gets to that point where a lot of rich people are organizers of very big, what's the charities and so on. So like, it really gets very muddy very quickly. And that's like the problematic part on that.
So I got an interesting story. Don't mean to interrupt you if I am Alpha, but I was at work one day. This was a long time ago. And I was backing up and I just happened to turn too soon and I hit this person's where their wheel sets. I don't tend to know the name of it. Dented it ever so slightly. I felt so bad. I went into I knew the person's vehicle was. I went up to her and I was like, hey, I just hit your car. I'm so sorry. Whatever needs to be paid for it, I'll pay for it. Whatever needs to get done, I'll do it because that's on me. I'm not going to hit and run you. What needs to get done? She looks at me. She's like, really? She's like, yeah. She walked out with me and took a look at me. She goes, that's fine. I'm like, what? She's like, my parents are rich. I'm rich. I don't need this. It's full coverage. They'll cover it anyways. Like, nothing gets back on you. I'll report as a hit and run and that'll be that. I was like, okay. To this day, her parents are still looking for me because they want that little bit of money from me. Even though it was covered, even though they didn't have to pay anything, they want that extra money.
It says a lot about their character. That's
Exactly.
for certain.
It does. And so, Crow, I don't know if I ever told you this. I'm sure this will blow your mind if I haven't. Wild Angel, I think I told you. And so, those who know me know that I've only owned one brand new car in my life, and that's the Camaro I have, my mistress. And I'm super protective. My family's more protective than I am. You get near, that's it. Somebody in this house is going to probably shoot you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're very hostile. One day, and it was when I was working at Nashville, I went to the grocery store somewhere, and I came out, and there was a note under my wiper. I'm like, well, that's weird. And I looked at it and I started reading. It said, I'm very sorry. I opened my door. I hit your car. Looks like I put a small mark in it. Here's my phone number. Here's my insurance number. Let me know what it costs to fix it. How can I make this right? I am so sorry. It was a total accident. My fault. And I went and I looked, and it's a tiny little chip. I mean, it's like smaller than the duck. Itty bitty little chip. And, you know, at first, my first knee-jerk reaction was, well, of course. How dare you do that? Then I thought about it. I said, you know what? Out of all the 8, 9 different door dings I got working at Nashua, while I started parking screwed up. I took up 2 places, parked at a 45 for years. People got mad at me, threatened to fire me. I said, fine, go ahead. Because people just kept slamming their car doors in my car. Pissed me off. This one person cared enough to write this big, long apology letter. Left phone number, everything you could possibly do. So as I was driving home, I thought about that, and I got home. I called him up and got a voicemail and said, hey, just want to let you know I'm the one who was driving the Camaro that you left a note on today. And the fact that you took the time and cared that much was truly amazing. So don't worry about it. Thank you for being that respectful, that honest, and that much of a good person that I'm not going to burden with you. It's not major enough to worry about, and it's something happy to take care of because I've got to get some other things fixed anyway. So thank you so much for leaving it, and have a great life. And that was it. So the one time I could have actually claimed on somebody, I chose not to because they were such a respectful person and took the time to do that.
One day I was taking my kids to school, and I had my ID badge. This is the time when I used to keep it on a long lanyard, and I just took it over my rear view mirror. And so, but it was long. It hung down about the middle of the column. And I was coming around a corner, and my daughter had picked that particular moment to reach out and bat at the ID badge, and it caught in my steering wheel. I took out somebody's mailbox because I couldn't unturn my wheel. The best I could do was hit my brakes because we went right into their mailbox. And oh my God, after I didn't, got stopped and took a deep breath and knew everybody was okay, my daughter was grounded for about the next month. And I went up to their door. This is like at 7 o'clock in the morning. I went up to their door, rang their doorbell. They came out and I said, look, I'm really sorry. This is what happened. Let me fix it. And, my daughter dug the hole for the new mailbox because we broke it off because we hit it with my car. And, yeah, she dug the hole. Mom bought the mailbox and the post because it squashed the mailbox when it went down, and she dug the hole. Needless to say, I don't store my ID like that anymore. It's on a short retractable one, so it's way up here. Yeah, we fixed it. We broke it, we fixed it. And they were really surprised that I went and knocked on the door. They said, we wouldn't have known. But you know what? I would have known. And that's the kind of, don't want my kids to see me do that. Because I don't want them to think it's okay. I want them to learn that when you break something, take the accountability. Most people really don't care. What they care about is the accountability.
That's a very good point. And yeah, I totally agree. And it's people just don't say, hey, I screwed up, my bad. That's a hard thing for a lot of people to say. And I struggle with it frequently. My brain immediately wants to take up an excuse. Why did I do this? Well, I did it because of this. Well, it doesn't really matter. Did it have a negative result? Yeah. Okay. Then was it a wise choice? No. My bad.
The road to hell is paved with the best intentions.
Right. Some of the most horrific atrocities in history were done with good intentions. If you think about it, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
And it says it belongs to very much how I see it. Many give some, but some give all they can. Exactly. And yeah, totally agree. And Mom says Crow is one of the most giving and caring kids I know. And he really is.
He is. He's great.
Yeah, he's become an adopted part of the family. I adopted him a long time ago. And it's like he's the only one I have ever given my seal of approval when I referred him to Nashua to come work. He's the only one ever because I had so much respect for him. And he's returned that in fold, and he's absolutely continues to amaze me. So, Crow, I think you're awesome.
He's the first one. I'll come home with groceries if he's here. He's like, hey, you need a hand? I'm like, okay. I didn't have to ask. He asks me. Everybody else I have to say, hey, put your shoes on. Or, Dad, tell them to put their shoes on. So
everybody put shoes on. We're going to use groceries.
Yep.
No.
Yeah. Crow's amazing. He yeah, I wish they were all like that.
Thank you.
Suck up.
I know where
Being a mama's boy.
know where you live.
Yeah, you didn't know where. You know, it's funny you mentioned that, Crow, because switch gears real quick. I just did that video on the helium mine, the 5G miner, and one of the first comments somebody put out there was, you need to be really careful because although it doesn't show your street address, it does show your central location, and people can find you. And right, and I'm a hillbilly from Idaho, man. But on top of that, first thing my brain thinks of is like, okay, my wife is an Army veteran. We have a pile of guns in the house. We're from Idaho, which makes us already crazy. I kind of feel sorry for anybody who shows up. With anybody with bad intentions, whew, man, you were in the wrong part of town.
I had my girlfriend over. We were sitting there watching TV, and it was a movie or something. It was late, and all of a sudden I heard a gunshot. And so I was like, okay, I better be safe than sorry. So I went to my room, grabbed my rifle, racked the bolt back, and sat down next to where I sit. Just sat there and watched the movie. I was like, I feel sorry for the guy who walks through my door right now. Like,
yep. Friday night with an assault rifle on the couch. Yeah. Welcome to Idaho.
Like,
it's just the way we do it.
I feel like I need that too. Too bad gun licenses aren't the thing. Yeah, you don't get those anymore.
ooh.
Well, wait, we're supposed to have a license?
Yeah, over here you have to have a license.
Only if it's
so-
concealed. Here.
Oh, okay. No, if I go anywhere, I throw it on the seat.
okay.
Yeah.
It's right there.
We can open carry in Idaho. We just
Okay.
can't conceal carry. Don't tuck it under your seat.
Well, with Crow, that's hard. You can't have an AR-15 under your seat. You just got to
Yeah.
strap to your back. Might as well stick it up to here. Yeah. I have a gun, officer. See it? It's right there.
I promise I'm not concealing it. It's a little too big for that.
It's a little hard. It's
It's as tall as you are, Crow.
Mom says even little old ladies like her pack.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what's funny? About 15 years ago, I was living down in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I was working for Hilti Corporation at the Northwest Hemisphere corporate headquarters. I was one of the tech support guys. And I remember walking in the break room, and there was a news story on the TV. And it says that 4 hunters from Texas were just shot and killed by one hunter for trespassing. You'll never guess where that one hunter was from.
Idaho.
Idaho.
Yep.
Y'all crazy over there. That's your
Oh,
problem.
yeah. Or unstable. Yeah, color me culture shock. Yeah. We can be the nicest people in the world, but at the same time, yeah, just don't mess with us. We have no sense of humor. We just go straight to crazy. We pass the hostile, we pass the irritated. Yeah, we go from hi to we shoot you. It's
Yep.
We're a little
So
off.
strictly high and by kind of thing.
We
Not
very
even a high
much value our
sometimes.
personal liberties and our personal space.
Grocery store will help you out and everything, but just don't mess with our homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll give you the shirt off your back, but you try and take it. Oh, that's it. It's the last thing you're ever gonna do.
Right.
So, speaking of that, somebody else that gives his shirt off his back, and I want to give a huge shout out to you, Bonks here, my man, and I want to share something with you guys. So if you take away this, hold on, let me. I think okay, I screwed that up.
He broke it.
I
He
did. I
touched
broke it.
it.
There we go. Okay, so there's a video here of Alex playing with the goat, and this is Gimli. Now, I absolutely love Gimli, and one thing I love about it is there's always something very unique with Gimli.
I love his horns. They're flat.
They are. He's very unique on that. Oh, damn, stop it. There he goes. Okay.
He's eating plastic. He's a goat.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah, I was just gonna
Radagast. I don't think that one was Gimli. That was Radagast.
Is that Radagast?
The one with
with
the
the
forelock
Right.
is
Is
Radagast.
Radagast.
You're,
Okay.
you're echoing.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
am.
That's because I turned the audio on. Okay, so is that Radagast or is that Gimli? That's what I'm curious about.
That's
That's
Gimli.
Gimli.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, Rose.
That was weird.
What in the fuck?
Oh, I think
Oh, I
that
think that
was
was
more of
Rose
Rose
Roslin.
Huh. I don't know. That was really strange. Must be something. Must be something going on I'm not aware of, but I'm sure we'll figure it out at some point in time. So, yes, if you guys haven't checked out Karma Farm Sanctuary, it's an. Can't hear anyone. Can you hear us now? Are we here?
Just
Just
Morris
Morris
code.
code.
Uh-huh.
Huh. That's weird, Alex. I
Yeah.
wonder what that's
yeah.
all about.
Certain Morse code.
We still have the echo. We still have the echo.
Oh. There you go. Is the echo gone now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason for that. Somebody will figure it out somewhere. It's the aliens. Who knows? It's Friday. Anything can happen. We're back. Okay, good. Echoes. Yes, sorry. My bad. Trying to figure out which buttons to push at the right time. And yeah, things are always challenging. But now, Rose, now that you've made it here, by the way, not only do we support, let me go on the Jumbotron because there we go. So as you know, we're a big supporter of Karma Farm Sanctuary. But the studio here at Down Home Crypto seems to have been taken over. I don't know. Any idea what that might be? So, yes, if you haven't already, guys, and now that Rose is here, who is one of the primary founders of, there it is, Project Duck Repression. Go check it out. I'm going to put a link to that. So that is Project Duck Depression. Pigeons. They're not pigeons. They're ducks. And also, for Karma Farm Sanctuary and Gimli. These are two great causes that I thoroughly believe in and I support heavily. So, if nothing else, just jump in there and check them out. You don't have to donate. You don't have to do anything. Just stop and say hi, learn about them. I think they are both great causes and worth your time.
Gimli's my fave.
I do. I love Gimli. I love
He
the
was
story
my
behind Gimli.
First critter.
Yep. And yeah, it's a lot of great information, a lot of great stories happen, and a lot of good causes go on there. And I just noticed, by the way, there's ducks.
Uh-huh.
See, there you go. Absolutely, Rose. Hey, we always got you, dear. In fact, I'm kind of curious why you're not up here partying with us, Rose. You got another party going on? Are you cheating on the Friday night party with some other party? Oh my gosh.
And Rose, just to let you know, I've got 800 little glittery yellow ducks on order.
Yeah, we get ducks everywhere. It's awesome.
We're gonna
Okay, enough
duck
to-
bomb the freaking town.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we've got some plans on that. But, Rose, that's what brought about the conversation tonight is the degens and the ducks. So our whole debate is, why is it that the degenerates, the ones who have very little or invest in cryptocurrency or the stupid thing, they ain't got money to burn, yet they invest in things like crypto, which is a scam, and they invest in things like ducks and pigs and goats and why are the degenerates appear to be the most generous? It says, Rose, have you come up with a printable design? If so, I'll print a bunch and promote the ducks when we hand them out. Ooh.
That would be cool. Because
That
how do
would.
people know about Project Duck Depression if we don't get it out there?
That's a good point. So that's where you guys definitely need to go check out the Facebook, the website, and like and subscribe. Share it. Push it out to the rest of the world. Because that's how we get the word out there. And just like here on Down Home Crypto, I don't do any advertising. It's really about you guys hitting the like, subscribe, sharing it to your friends, bringing those people in that can learn from this information. And it's not all about crypto. As you know, Friday night is all about everything but crypto. We do tend to get kind of wild here. It says we're working on everything this weekend. Designs, business cards, social media, and everything. I like it.
Cool.
Well, I want a shirt. I want a duck shirt. Oh, and food. Oh, there's duck food?
Of course there's duck food.
I want duck
I don't know.
food.
Ask Godric.
Spinach. He loves spinach.
Mhm.
I did several donations just for spinach. That was a whole thing.
Yep.
Here's $5 for Godric to have spinach. That was the whole deal. But yeah, I'm curious. So I'm really curious. Crow, what is probably the most, if you can, the most shocking example you've got of people that had money, that had a mindset they were unwilling to help? Have you had anything like that where it just blew your mind? Like, oh my God, are you really that shallow?
Unwilling to help.
Yeah. Have you run across that before?
Yes, but I can't think of anything on the top of my head.
Okay. How about you, Wild Angel? Well, he's thinking.
I actually heard a story about somebody who had money and lots of it. And when they were asked to help with basic human needs, they literally said, you know what? They can go work for it. This was this actually a person who could not work for it. They were not capable. They had a physical disability that made them incapable of making a life-sustaining wage. And this person could have totally eliminated the problem, and they refused. I think as human beings, we need to help take care of people who are actually incapable of taking care of themselves. And, when it is a proven issue that they are not capable and they've got the capability to alleviate a problem, and it would have been a one-time thing. This person needed medication. They refused. And this was a life-sustaining medication. This wasn't something they could do without for a couple of weeks till payday or till their Social Security check came in. We see it every day with pharmaceutical companies.
Mm-hmm.
Diabetes medication is so outrageously expensive. And this is life-sustaining. But then movie stars and everybody are using those diabetes medications to lose weight. They need to lose 10 pounds. So they take medication that diabetics need. This is why my shots are back ordered every month, because they're being used for weight loss.
Wait, they work for that?
Yes, they do. I lost 20 pounds pretty quick after starting these shots.
Oh, cool.
That's what
Double
helped.
the dose. I need some.
Right? that was a beneficial side effect. However, my shot that I need once a week, it's just a once a week shot, I can't get because movie stars are using it, and people with money, not just movie stars, but they're some of the big culprits. But they want to lose 10 pounds, so they take life-sustaining medication away from somebody.
Interesting. Now, let me ask, being devil's advocate, there's, of course, a lot of people out there who can work, but they say, oh, I can't. I have depression, or I have this, or I have a lot of things that can be treated, that can be dealt with or overcome. What is the defining factor? Where do you draw the line of what is right, what is wrong, who's a good person, who's bad, based on how much they help?
When people are capable of doing whatever they can, and they're doing whatever they can to help themselves, that, for me, that's the line.
Okay.
Mom is a great example.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She has cerebral palsy. Mom, I'm talking about you. If it offends you, let me know. She has cerebral palsy. She only has a leg and a half to stand on. She's 81 years old, yet she still works. She still does everything she can to sustain herself. Wow. Periodically, something comes up that she needs help with. Her roof was leaking.
Still is.
Not to the point where it's like dripping on the inside. But not a whole side of the house.
Right. No, it's a small leak, and we know what it is, and I'm going to fix it just when it stops raining. Has to stop raining.
Right.
Sorry,
but Mom is amazing. She does everything she can to help herself. Plus, she teaches people how to sew. She does sewing for them. She teaches them how to take care of themselves. She does dresses for girls in villages somewhere, and sends them off with her church. She does a lot of stuff through the church and helps wherever she can. So when she needs something that's beyond her, to me, that is a valid person to help. Or you have people that live in like a group home because they need some supervision, and they're not capable of working for themselves, and they're not capable of making a lot of decisions for themselves. They do as long as they're doing what they can, they need help. Those are the people we help. The people that just sit around and, and I was one of them. I spent 10 years in bed because my back and my depression and everything, what I thought was so bad. Yeah, entitled. I was. Yeah, totally entitled. But I know you weren't talking about me. You didn't know it was coming that way, but I was. But it's people that very much feel entitled not to take care of themselves. Oh, somebody else will do it for me. That, I've been there. I tried that. That shit don't work. Period. Point blank, done. And so I'm on the total end of the opposite end of the spectrum now. I work 2 jobs. I've lost 100 pounds. Finally got my back fixed. And, I've proved that pretty much if you're bound and determined to do it, you can. And so
Well said.
I am willing to help people who are not capable, not willing, but are incapable of doing it for themselves. Henry is incapable of taking care of himself. You know what? I'll make a damn pig and we'll raffle it off to get Alex the funds to help take care of Henry.
Perfect.
So I'll get off my soapbox now.
Okay. Sounds good. And I want to read this one. The Rose sent says, I had a woman get nasty with me over being on metformin, which is one of the diabetic meds that you can lose weight on. I'm pre.
Pre-diabetic.
Thank you. Words are hard. And have PCOS is why I'm on it. Okay. And
Yep.
see, Rose, that's something you need. And so if somebody has a fit about it, it's like, yeah, it's mind blowing. And
If
I
there's
always
a
have
medical reason.
right. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I always have to ask, why do people have a fit like that? What makes them more important, or whose trauma is worse? And it goes all around back to what we started with, was the ducks and the animals and the degens. How do we characterize who deserves it, who doesn't? And it's really a slippery slope. And it's so easy to stand back and throw a rock at somebody. But like we talked about in the beginning, is we don't know someone else's trauma. So it's really hard to say. And it's a fine line. What do you think, Alpha?
I mean, like you put it there, it's a slippery slope because everyone's situation is different. But I will agree with Wilder Angel in saying that if someone can't help themselves, then by all means, someone needs to assist them. And if you can do it, then go ahead and do it. But if someone's not willing, at that moment you're just entitled and sit your ass down. I don't even want to bother talking to you. It's like I'm not even going to entertain your nonsense.
Exactly. And that brings about the whole question, though, is why do they have that mindset? And I often ask myself that. Why does somebody think that their trauma is so bad nobody can relate? That nobody can comprehend it. Nobody's just worse than theirs. And it blows my mind. And at the same time, I used to be that way. Years ago, I used to be very much a rescuer. And so it was all about, I'm the only one that can save you, and you will all do exactly as I say, and you will be fine. If you don't do what I say, you'll all die. I didn't realize, man, that's screwed up. It didn't come across that way. Well, some days it did.
It is.
Right. But I was a rescuer, and I thought that was a good thing. And I quickly realized through recovery and through codependency, it's not. It's actually even more sadistic. And I want to give you guys a great example. Have you guys seen the movie Misery by Stephen King? About the writer wrecks his car, breaks his leg. The one lady nurses him back to health.
Yes, Ray threatened me with that.
Okay. So, to give you an idea of what a rescuer is, okay, by the categorization, that movie is a perfect example of a rescuer. So the writer gets in a car wreck, breaks his legs, nurses him back to health. Just when he's about to be able to walk out, she gets a sledgehammer and breaks both his legs again, so he can't leave. That's what a rescuer does. We have to have a victim to be a rescuer. So if we don't have one, we make one. It's like my counselor said, it's like saving a bird with a broken wing. You heal it up, and it's all better. And when it's just about to fly away, you grab its wing and go snap. That way you can do it again. Otherwise, you don't have a purpose. That's the sadistic, evil side of being a rescuer. It's kind of wild.
Complex. Hero complex. That's how I put it.
Right. It
'Cause,
is.
you think of yourself as a hero in that moment.
Mhm.
So yeah, that is crazy. I would say it's as I said in the comments, it's a matter of emotional intelligence. Some people don't grow up in that emotional sense. Some people stay stuck as children, and children are entitled. Children are so damn entitled because people take care of them. Everyone does things for them. Now, if you don't grow out of that during your teenage years because someone's still taking care of you completely, and you're just like used to, I don't know, you maybe have a very doting mother, and your mother just takes care of all of your things up until you're 21, 22, and she's still doing it. At that point, like, that entitlement is stuck as who you are. And you can change it. You just need to learn to grow up a little. Maybe you need a few hard lessons, but it's that matter of some people just don't grow up emotionally. They don't realize that they are not the center of the universe. The universe will revolve, and it will continue revolving whether they're dead, alive, or never existed. Like, it's just, they need to accept that at some point. But yeah, I'd say it's just that some people never grow up.
It's a good way to
We
look
have
at
to
it.
grow up. It's kind of my motive. I will grow old, but I refuse to grow up.
Emotionally.
Oh, okay. That's totally different. And then, yeah, I'm the biggest little
Peter
kid I know.
Pan.
Yeah.
So, Crow, so did you come up with any examples? Some things that really stand out, just blew your mind?
Other than that story with the car, nothing I can really think of.
Okay, so I'm going to duck out for a quick sec. I'm going to leave you guys to discuss because I'm really kind of curious. And here's the question, I'll let you guys converse amongst yourself or ask the main audience. What defines approved limitations? Is it physical? Is it mental? Like we talked at the very beginning, this is Autism Awareness Month. Does that create a level of entitlement that others should not receive? Really kind of curious about that, but I'm going to duck out for a quick sec and I will be right back.
Oh man, Serenity went and left a hard one.
I think that a lot of kids with, higher functioning, like autism, maybe they need some help in maybe more of the social aspects, or like our middle son. He's fairly high functioning. He's actually, I like to say, he's one of the dumbest smart people I know, because he doesn't use his intelligence very well. But he needed help getting a job. So we stepped in and we made a connection for him to get that job. And there's been a few times, we've had to step in and like mediate because he wasn't quite understanding. But he works a full-time job. He pays his own bills. He needs a little direction, but he's definitely not entitled. He knows he's got to work for what he wants. He doesn't just get it. But there's a lot of kids out there, a lot of parents who hover.
Oh yeah.
And I think that creates a lot of the entitlement.
Let me pose it this way. I had a guy at work who's physically capable of doing his job, but he felt like he was putting in more work than anyone else on the crew. I mean, he thought he was doing so much more, so he decided he was going to do less, because why should he do extra when everyone else wasn't doing everything that he thought was to his standard? That's a perfect case of entitlement, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so. And it's one of those where I very much have a problem with that. And part of it is because, yes, Hope Giver is my mom, and just like she says here, even if you were disabled, it doesn't make you entitled. Just should make you work harder.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great point. That's the way I was raised. That's a mindset I have. It's like, okay, you have a limitation, then you have to work harder to get past it. You have to capitalize on the skill sets you gained, because with every disability, with every limitation, you always have a strength. It may not be obvious, might be hidden, might have to cultivate it and nurture it. But it's just like, my son Gage, who has autism, he is the most emotional, caring person on this planet. He's got probably all of his feet combined. Now, can he have a social conversation like we are here now? No, he really can't. But that man will absolutely give you his shirt, his pants, his shoes, his truck, his keys, his wallet, whatever he has is yours if you need it, because he cares that much. And there is no limit to his caring. And so I think we all have different disabilities and different strengths because of them. So a lot of times people look at people with autism or depression, or that's like, well, they have a disease, they have a problem. No, they don't. They've got a different perspective, but with that perspective comes a superpower. I know I talked to Smiley Girl about this, is, you've got a little different personality, but you've also got a superpower that you need to harness. And she didn't realize that till really started bringing it to fruition. And I think all of us have that. So no matter how depressed you are, what trauma you're going through, that trauma has given you a superpower, whether it be a hard childhood, whether it's growing up in the wrong part of town. It gave you the capability to survive, to always see why tomorrow is important. And so I think everybody's got that. And I think we just sometimes... And even our little ducks have superpowers because they make people smile. Superpower doesn't have to be a cape and loud and proud. It can be very quiet and subtle And if it has an effect on someone else in a positive manner, that's a superpower.
Amen.
One of the ladies I work with, her granddaughter is a type 1 diabetic. She's now 14. She's also low to middle functioning on the autism spectrum. And she's just developed epilepsy. So she's been hit with like 3 pretty significant whammies. But they have explained to her that disability does not mean inability. And that she is a superhero. And that these are her superpowers. Because she sees things differently. And, her body may kind of freak out once in a while. But she looks at the world in a totally different direction. And she can problem solve things from different directions, totally out of the box. Unlike me, I like my bento boxes. And Serenity thinks of things way outside of the box. So when I'm struggling to do a problem, I go to my superhero. One of them, I have several, but he's my main superhero. When Mushu died, Gage is all into his sweets. He loves his sweets. And he had a little tiny apple pie. I'm gonna cry.
Okay.
Finish the story.
Got it. So, yes, when Mushu passed away, Gage came home from work that night, and he's our autistic son, and he got himself a little pie, because he absolutely loves him. And first thing he does, could make me cry, is he walks in, says, "Give this to Mom. She needs it more than I do." And it's just one of those acts of kindness that you can't teach. You can't demonstrate. They have to feel it. And he did. And just thinking about it makes me cry. And so while we're talking about that, I'm going to pass this because Alva Cruz, you said, yes, find a way around it, or you use it to your advantage. Just take a lot of thinking to figure it out. So I'm curious. I agree with you totally, but what if somebody doesn't know that it's a superpower? How can we show that? How can we demonstrate that, yes, you have these problems, yes, you have these challenges, but you also have these gifts? If they're not surrounded by people that tell you that, how are they to discover that?
Damn, that's a good question. I mean, it's pretty tough if you don't have someone around you to just outright say it. Because then you have to rely on luck to maybe find something like, Project Dark Depression, which is a pretty cool one. But like, it's at that point you really have to rely on luck, and hopefully that person somehow discovers another person that is just going to be able to tell them, like, look, I know it's hard, man. I know things are hard, but you can find a way. Or we have to hope that, the person might just decide one day, you know what? I ain't gonna let this get me down no more. I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to do it. Because sometimes you all get that feeling of like, nah, I'm not allowing this to get me anymore. I need to move on from this. I mean, anyone is experiencing any sort of depression, like while Angel has mentioned, at some point you think to yourself, I'm here, and it's at some point I decided to allow myself to be here. So now I'm going to work on getting myself out. So you just kind of have to hope that either they find someone that's going to give them that guidance, or one they decide, you know what, screw this. I know what I can do, I know what I can't, but I'm going to figure this out.
Yep.
From somebody who's actually had to make that choice, it took some pretty huge shoving
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that way.
Both ways.
And then because I didn't have people around me that were telling me, hey, get off your ass. You're okay. Let's go. I didn't have those people until I met Serenity. And then he became this awful cheerleader kind of person that I learned to love as much as I hated him for it. But now, and then I was able to eventually make my own choice that I didn't want to be that person anymore.
You're the catalyst.
He was very much the catalyst for it. I was to the point I wouldn't even drive.
Oh,
I quit driving for 10 years.
wow.
He made me hit a damn dryer with the Suburban. We had a dead dryer. It was dead anyway. But he's like, hit it, because I was so terrified of the sound of a car wreck, because I'd been in 3 in a year. And I just couldn't even be behind the wheel. And it freaked me out. Panic attacks. It was bad. He made me hit a damn dryer to hear that metal on metal crunch sound.
Wow.
It worked.
I mean, you're driving now, so
Oh, I drive
it's
every day.
something, right?
But yeah, talk about out of the box thinking. And if he didn't have the alter abilities that he has, who would have thought of that? Really?
Really? That's some different thinking right there.
But he looks
yeah.
at the world differently. And that's what it took.
And I think everybody has that strength to look at the world a
Yeah.
little bit differently than anybody else, and that's what makes us special. And just like Ashley was saying here, is after being raised in a family full of entitlement, I wanted my kids to see they could do anything. If they need assistance, okay, but always try, because you learn in failing, but not always winning. And that's true. That's one thing I hate is about the achievement awards. Everybody gets an award. No, they don't. First, second, third, they get the awards. Everybody else, you need to try harder. You need to practice. You need to do something. And so, yeah, Ashley, I am so proud of you. That is so true. It is tough to break the cycle, especially when that's the way you're raised and you don't know any different. And having the guts and the courage to think outside the box, say, nah, I ain't going to play the same game that everybody in my family has played. I'm going to go my way. That takes guts. So, absolute big applause for you, Ashley.
I agree. Good job, Ashley.
Yeah.
Especially with kids with I hate to say disabilities, but that's the standard term, with alter abilities.
Well, the superpower.
With superpowers.
Yeah.
Breaking out of that and teaching them that they can do it themselves even when they don't want to, or they think it's hard, is the most amazing thing you could have ever done for them. Ashley gets the gold star.
Gold star. And a duck. Everybody
and a duck.
Ashley. Yeah.
And the duck.
One duck. Oh. And Hope Gear says, we try and teach by example. And yeah, that's a good thing, but it's really tough when there's nobody around you to teach that example. And a lot of people feel lost. And part of that's why we're here on Friday nights, because I didn't want to be just about learning about crypto and investing and strategic investing, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to bring a platform where you could learn about people, because sometimes the technical side of crypto, people just don't want anything to do with it. But you know what? We're all humans. We all have trauma. We all have problems. And there's so many great people out there who are in crypto and who are not. And just because you're in it or not doesn't mean you can't hang out with us. Everybody's welcome here. And that's what Freaky Friday is all about. Anything goes, and anyone is welcome. It says you can't always get done to see unless you show them. It's true. They will either meet you with resistance or invitation to change. I tend to trigger the resistance side. As Wild Angel said, I'm a catalyst. Yeah, so a little more on that story, guys. Let's see. And indeed, that person to push is important. So how the story really played out is we were driving back to my house. This is while we're still dating. And she wouldn't drive. I pulled over the side of the road, and I drove a 3/4 ton full-size Suburban. And I got out. I said, we're not going anywhere. What do you mean? It's like, you're driving. No, I can't drive. Yes, you can. I don't have a license. Blah, blah, blah. And this was after asking a lot of questions and figuring out what the triggers were and the fact that the crunch car, the car wreck, things like that. And I'm like, okay, I have to get you to break your fears, so we can sit here all night. I don't care. And I was willing to do it. I would sit there for the rest of the night. It was cold, dark, rainy. It was horrible. Finally, she did it. Terrified, scared out of her mind. And I remember I did something during the drive, but I kept asking you why you were frightened, and that's where you made the sound. And it was wild because we pulled up to the house, and I had just put our dead dryer out by the curb. And that's when she told me the story about the metal. And I'm like, okay, well, hey, here's what we do. I'm in a full-size truck. You can't hurt this truck. This thing's a tank. Hit the dryer. What? Hit it. Hear that crunch sound. And she had the courage to do that. So make no mistake, even if somebody pushes you, even if they have to irritate you or make you mad to do it, which I did. I'm good at that. You'll be proud of yourself because you had the courage to try it. Even if it was out of rage at the time, because that's somebody pushed you at that point, which I did. Still, you had the courage to do that. Be proud of that. And that's one thing I think all of us forget is whether it's getting up here on stage, whether it's sharing your stories, whether it's just opening a door for somebody, taking the time out of your day, writing a note saying, hey, I backed into your car, whatever it is, that takes a level of courage. And that's something that you absolutely need to be proud of. And even say, hey, dude, I fucked up. I'm bad. That takes courage too. So no matter what it is, no matter how bad it is, the fact you take accountability, that's the biggest thing. And realizing that you may have, a superpower, a disability, whatever you want to call it. Wow, Wild Angel, you're wild.
Sorry.
I can mute her. There you go, I muted her. But I don't think we give ourselves enough credit for dealing with the trauma, for dealing with the challenges that we face. And so that's something that I think each of you needs to remember.
Words of the wise. Ish.
Ish is good. I'll go with ish.
Your guys' story reminds me a lot of how things were with me and Jade, my significant other. So she was very closed off. Like I couldn't even hold her hand. She was like that kind of person, like physical touch is not that thing. But I was like, listen, I don't give a damn if you don't want to hold my hand. I took her hand and I held it every day, basically forcing her to keep my hand every day. And then she'd be like, okay, it's I can't hold it anymore for today. Every day just got a few minutes longer, and then now she can't leave my hand. I took her from someone that couldn't express anything, clinically depressed on antidepressants, to now not even bothering to look at the antidepressants. And I'm just like, tell your doctor you don't need it. Tell him. I mean, I'm your antidepressant at this point. You don't need it. And she's like, but I can't sit. And I'm like, wow. You see in your therapist when? You're going to tell your therapist when you see her. You're going to tell her, my boyfriend is my antidepressant. I don't need this nonsense no more.
Well done, sir. And that's takes a lot of courage on her part too, because trying to go work through that uncomfortability. And somebody had mentioned that earlier, as far as if you don't have an example, what do you do? And I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, but I believe the universe puts things in your path for a reason. Whether it's a lesson to learn, whether it's support, whatever it is, I think if you truly need it, it's there. All we have to do is look around. And that's support, that's friends, that's family, that's whatever you need. It's always around if you're willing to look for the silver lining in the blackness. Silence follows. Like, okay, I'm waiting for something. I'm trying not to step on everybody. I'm trying to give a good pauses. And Ash says, I regularly piss off Sealy during treatments. I hold him and keep him steady, but you're not melting into a hospital lump. He's gotten mad, I gauge, and if he's able, I push him to get up. There you go, Ashley. And
Mm.
you know what? I think that's good. And sometimes people might resent you at the moment. Others might say, you're just being cranky, or that's just wrong. But you know what? It takes a level of courage to push someone else, because you are risking them getting mad at you. You're risking them hating you for it. And to put yourself at that level of risk for someone else's greater good, I think that's a good thing. It has to be done in moderation, because just like a couple weeks ago when we talked about Wild Angel said, hey, will you go check the oil on my car? I did tell her no, because I felt that was beyond that healthy boundary. So it's interesting how all these little pieces play with each other.
I agree that Seely's very lucky to have you, Ashley, to keep him on an even keel, even through everything he's going through, but not letting him just wallow in it.
I forgot to unmute. I'm like, so that brings about a great question. So we're talking about the generosity of degens and the ducks and all this. So at what point in time do you stop trying to force somebody out of their depression or their unhealthy mindset as you see it? Because we don't know their trauma. We're guessing, we're assuming. Because nobody can know anybody else's trauma. That's a fact. We know that. But at what point in time do you stop fighting with somebody who doesn't want help?
Oh, wow.
It's a really good one.
I don't know if I'd ever stop
Yeah.
letting them know the help is there when they're ready for it. Now, actively pushing at some point, it's not my job to, I can reach out, I can offer a hand, I can't make them take it. I can let them know that when they're ready, I'm here. But until they're ready to make that choice, it's on them.
To add on to what Wild Angel
I
was
agree with
saying,
Wild Angel on that. You just, if you see you're not.
Good, Alpha.
Oh, my network is lagging. Okay, is it working now? Because I tried speaking up like 15 seconds ago. But anyway, so I was saying, like, I agree with what Wild Angels. English is not Englishing tonight. Anyway, words are hard. So I agree that, like, at some point you see that there's just no sort of progress. You kind of have to take that step back and just be like, look, I'm not going to push you anymore. I understand that you likely need your time. It's probably too much for you with all the pushing. So I'm going to take a back seat. I'll be here anytime you need me, anytime you want that little push, I will happily be able to do it. And I'd be willing. Could I wanted to say something? Sorry.
I do. So to add on to locations, to what both of you said, I can't figure it. There it goes. Camera stuff is weird. To add on what you both said is, I do think there's a certain point where trying to help someone by pushing them like that can also get very unhealthy for you. And at that point, I think it's almost a good thing to very much step back and be like, hey, I'm done trying for right now. When you are ready, then we can try again.
That's a good point. And, it's interesting because this all goes kind of first with bleh, words are hard.
Seems to be the consensus tonight.
It does. It does. And
it's like, what, 10 times already? Overall.
Exactly. And like Ash says, you can refuse to enable them, but you can always support in one way or another that doesn't destroy you. You've got some great topics on there, Ashley, is, you don't want to enable, you don't want to self-destruct or turn into a rescuer. At the same time, you don't want to support so much that it becomes enabling. So it's a very slippery slope. I mean, this whole topic is all the way around. The biggest thing is never let people push you to over-sacrifice, and also make sure you've got healthy boundaries. In fact, that's one thing we talk about in Rules of Solvency. One of them is you don't give people money. You help them with your time, your education, your effort. You support them, but you don't always just give them money. Say, oh, well, here, let me fix your problems for you, because that goes against everything that we're talking about. And so certain projects like Project Depression, where you can buy the ducks, and yeah, you're using your money, but you're giving out happiness. You're not actually giving them $5 bills. You're not laying money across the counter. And helping for Karma Farm Sanctuary. That's helping the animals that can't help themselves. Now, Alex and Kelly have to do the work. That's their job. I'm not going to go over and, okay, when I do go visit, I will help them feed the animals, because that'll be fun. But I'm not going to show up every morning and work for 8 hours for free. That's my limit. Some volunteers do, and I think that's great. But I think there's always that healthy boundary. And so I love supporting projects like Karma Farms, like Project Depression, with my time, with my energy, and even with some donations. But of course, I don't have any money, so I just give them my time. But oftentimes, that's the most valuable thing you can do, is support them with your time, with your emotion. Money is easy. Money grows on trees all the time. They print new money every day. It's not a big deal. Your time, however, that's precious. So you'll always look around. Those people that are supporting you, even when you don't want it, when you want them to leave you alone, they keep saying, hey, are you okay? Would you like something? Can I help you with that? They're trying to give you something of value. And so remember that. Even if they're being irritating, or they push you to the limit that you want to strangle them, which I've done. That's me. Crow can both. Yeah, see, Wild Angel and Crow both go, yeah. He's a dick. I can be. And
Can be.
I often find, oftentimes find that with my superpower, disability, with my autism, it gives me the ability to see things a little bit differently, and I often broach things in ways that people don't expect. So I will push their buttons in a way that might make them mad, might make them react very startled or scared or stressed. But the ulterior motive is it's going to trigger an emotional reaction that will have a positive outcome. Doesn't always at the time. Oftentimes I do tend to step on toes, and people hate me for it at the moment. Hopefully down the road, if I did it right, it turns to a positive outcome, but it doesn't always. And I think we all face that. And it doesn't matter if we have depression or autism, or if we're just as normal as can be, we always run that risk. And that's where the whole concept of the anonymity. Well, I don't have to worry about pissing them off. They don't know who I am, so I can be anonymous, and that's a good thing. So it's really kind of interesting how all these pieces intertwine. Or fell asleep.
I didn't fall asleep. I asked you. If you
He just looks like Susan.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
so many aspects and levels to this that is insane.
It is. And Ash says, I built my own people I can lean on, others I can network with. But a big part is having to know when to ask for help and when to dig in and get it done. Well said. Good, Alpha.
Oh,
Your cartoon character turned around and went and did this bug out like, me? What? It's great.
it does weird things sometimes. Okay. No, I was just thinking on what Ashley and my reply there. No, it's a interesting. If you need a catalyst, but you don't know how to ask help, also that's like that's also another very important thing. Like that was something that I was thinking earlier. I'm not very good at that part. I know how to help. I know how to offer help. I know how to put in a lot of time to help other people, because that's what I can do. I'm just like, yeah, I can't. Money is not growing on my back right now, so.
Yeah.
Damn it! Did I lag again?
Nope, you're
No,
good.
you're still here.
Am I back?
You're back. You're here.
I think my network lagged again.
I hear you.
Okay.
Can you not
Yeah.
hear me?
Okay. Wait. Yeah, I can hear you. So yeah, it's like I can be that. I can give people my time and help, but I don't know how to ask for help. It's very weird for me. Very weird. I just know how to get it done, but that's about it.
It's uncomfortable to ask for help sometimes, especially when you don't know it's okay to ask.
Hmm.
If you've always been told, you're on your own, do it yourself, and you hit something big that you maybe can't handle the whole thing on your own, or you just need to bounce some ideas off somebody.
Shoot, just yesterday, I'm in the process of trying to get a vehicle, and something didn't seem right. So I did the very first thing I did. I called up my Subaru technician, master Subaru technician, and was like, "Hey, this doesn't seem right to me. Is this apples to apples? Like, what's going on?" And he's like, "No, it's not." So just bouncing ideas off.
Hmm.
And I think that's like I said, Alpha. I have the same problem. Asking for help has never been my strong suit. I've always been the rescuer, the Superman. I can solve anything. But I found that one of the hardest things I can do, I can admit I'm an addict, and I will be forever in recovery because addiction, there's no cure. I can admit that I'm crazy, not a problem. I'm unstable, absolutely. But saying I can't do this, that has got to be the hardest thing on the planet for me to say I need help, and it is so humbling. But at the same time, I think somebody who has that mindset that they have to accomplish everything, when they do ask for that, I think the genuineness of it comes through in aces. And it stands out so much different than the people who always say, "Oh, I can't work. I have to sit at home and watch soap operas and give me food stamps." I think most people can see that.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I can definitely attest to that. If I should ever ask anyone for help, I know that it would be at the point where I'm just like, I'm at my wits' end. I cannot physically fathom how to do this thing, and I need it. Yeah, crazy.
And sometimes, like Crow was saying, is occasionally, even if you think you got it, sometimes just asking somebody for a second opinion, whether your significant other or friend, family member, whoever, sometimes that shows that, hey, their opinion matters to you. You don't have to listen to it. You don't even have to accept their advice, but the fact that somebody came to you or that you went to somebody is one way of expressing love or compassion or respect. Because somebody asks your opinion or you ask someone his opinion, I think that's them showing, hey, I respect what you have to say. I'd like to hear it. And I think that's a huge thing. And that's why I have such respect for everyone here and everyone who joins on stage, shares their stories, and has these conversations. Because the simple fact is, we're all in need of help in some way, shape, or form. Whether that's companionship, whether that's financial, whether that's education, whatever that is, I think we all need some assistance somewhere. And hopefully that everybody's getting pieces of it from here.
Oh, that's so true, Alpha.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's like that second opinion. Yeah. How many times, Serenity, do I come and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and you're like, "Have you thought about this?" And it's
And
like,
you're like, what?
"Oh, that would be so much better."
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're too close to our own issues, and asking somebody who's not in the heat of it kind of puts us back in that, from that emotional mind. It pulls us back into that wise mind, because there's the rational mind and the emotional mind, and one or the other being all the way in one or the other isn't real balanced. So finding that overlap and that mesh together zone is so much better and so much more productive. And sometimes when you're in the heat of it, you can't be there. So asking somebody's second opinion or advice kind of helps put you back there.
Well said. And so
8 little ducks
Let's see, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got me beat. I'm gonna get 7.
I got 8 rows done while we've been on the show.
Good job.
So
Wow.
those are my row counters tonight. So each little was a row.
Perfect.
And I shared
So-
a duck.
Wow.
So do you realize you have found a way to merge 2 beneficial projects, Karma Farm Sanctuary and Project Duck Depression, into one adventure? Nicely done. That's thinking outside the box. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Well, I had this handful of ducks, and he left them on the table, and so I scooped up the ducks. I'm like, last thing I need is for the big dumb dog to try to eat them. Yeah, Parker can reach, Chloe can't.
Oh no.
But I scoop them up. I'm like, what am I gonna do with these ducks? He says, well, do whatever you want with them. I'm like, I'm gonna use them as row counters.
There you go.
So tonight, poof, they're row counters.
I like it.
Now you
So,
always know how many rows you have.
Right.
And
As long as you
soon
don't
I'll have
misplace ducks.
800 of them.
Yes. We're going to have ducks everywhere. So, guys, about time to wrap this up. But before we do, I think it's been a great chat about the DGen concept and the donations and the ducks. And so I want to give another shout out real quick to our inspirations this evening. And the first one, of course, oops, hold on, there we go. Okay. We got to go to Project Duck Depression. Now, if you guys haven't checked this out or you're just tuning in, make sure to go check them out. And even if, you don't buy ducks, you don't pass them around or anything else, but if you happen to run across a little duck somewhere in your journeys, you probably know where it came from. Somebody from Project Duck Depression is wanting to give you a smile. So if you do find one, make sure to post it on there or leave a duck for someone else. Either way, just do something to make other people smile. And the other one, and I didn't pull it up, I'm horrible, a terrible person. I thought I heard it already. There it is. Karma Farm Sanctuary, with Gimli the Goat, of course. Run by Alex and Kelly, Yabonks, and his lovely wife. So make sure to check them out as well, and I will put the descriptions in the chat for both of these. And also, make sure that you've done your homework. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about us, because we are here every Friday to make sure that everybody has somewhere to go on Friday night, because not everybody has a party. And you never really know what could happen here on Freaky Friday. I broke it. Okay. Let's see. It says, it's so fun to ask. That is really weird. I wonder what that is. We'll have to figure that out one of these days.
Stop breaking shit.
Apparently, yeah. I
Okay,
will
you're
stop
echoing
breaking it.
again.
I fixed it. I will stop doing it, but yes. So Ashley did a gold star. Yes, got a gold star. So, guys, is there anything else that I haven't covered that you guys want to throw out there before we wrap this up tonight? Wild Angel, go for it.
Oh yeah.
I just want to
My-
say,
my-
hey guys, we share a lot of stories on here, and that's part of the DGen space too. Those of us that are out here are authentic, and it's the real us.
Mm.
So it's kind of scary telling you guys some of these stories and where we've been, and but I'm in a group full of people who've been through a lot of shit too. So that's one thing in recovery that I learned. If I share it, it's not a big deal anymore. So, and yeah, that Morse code again. What is up with that? But you're muted, Serenity.
I think it's got to be the aliens. Alien invasion, something with the space. I don't know.
AI
Something weird.
overlords.
right?
There you go.
But I've had a great night. Thanks, guys. Thanks for sitting with me while I'm working on the Henry prototype. Favorite moment of joy or inner calm this week?
There you go.
I think this is my third season going through tax season at work. And this year I realized that I got this. I finally have this. And it brought a calm, and I was able to pass that calm off to the new guy that shares the department with me now, my section. Sorry, I got something in my eye. And encourage him to get through this tax season in one piece. So my calm has gone to him. Piggies. Piggy.
Absolutely. So what about you, Alpha? What is your favorite moment of joy or inner calm this week?
That would be when me and Jade went out for lunch, and we just sat and ate, and this people that were sitting next to us on the next table had a child with him, and she was so cute, running up and down all the time. I was just like, yeah, she just ate, so now she got the energy. It was just so calming to just like sit there, eat, and then, watch this child terrorize her poor mother.
That's always fun.
I was like, one day that's us.
Yep. Just wait.
Oh,
How about you, Crow?
yeah.
I'd have to say our nightly COD games.
Good choice.
That's nice.
Although it's
And
chaos and bloodletting and everybody gets shot and we all die, but
That says something
yeah.
about the way my weeks go.
that's calming. I get shot in the face. I shoot other people in the face, and that's relaxing. Wait, what? So,
And your
you know,
Serenity.
I've got to say mine was probably about 45 minutes ago. Sitting here with good people and good friends, sharing and caring and realizing it doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have. It doesn't matter how old or young you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing, where you are, or who you are. All that matters is you're looking for a better way, and you're in a great community of people that have your back. And that is such an amazing feeling. And it's one of those I can't even express enough. Talking about Karma Farm Sanctuary and Duck Depression and Alex and Cyril and all of you and Ashley and Smiley and everybody here this is where I feel inspired. And this is where the world seems to make sense. It's not about the money. It's not about the crypto project that I'm invested in or I might 10x tomorrow. It's not about the fact that I don't have enough money to go fill my car with gas. None of that really matters. What matters is the network of people that I've surrounded myself with. And when I'm in the middle of that, I feel like I'm in the zone and the world just makes sense. So I want to thank all of you because you are the reason I get those peaceful and calm feelings. And Alex says, love the ducks. Thank you. Enjoyed that moment. Absolutely. Thank you for the kind word. Absolutely, brother. And, as anybody can tell you, Wild Angel and Crow will absolutely tell you, I don't tend to sugarcoat things very well. I tend to just one thing about my autism is I just spit it out. Just like in life, I just jump in both feet. I don't look if there's a bottom first. Who cares? Just jump off the cliff. What happens, happens. And I do the same thing with my words. I spit out what I feel, spit out what I think, and I've never been good at filtering at all. So please know that everything I say and everything I do is very much how I feel. And so I don't worry about doxing myself because this is who I am. And I want to say thank you to all of you for being a part of a community that lets me do that. I don't feel I have to be somebody I can't handle or a superhero or anything else. I just get to be me. You know what? I welcome all of you to do the same. So make sure to jump in the Down Home Crypto Discord because that's what the community is all about. It's just having like-minded people, and it doesn't matter if you're in crypto or not. The fact that you're a human being, you have a heart and a soul, that's what matters.
I couldn't have said that better.
Amen.
Thank you. So I want to thank everybody so much for joining us on this Friday night. And Wild Angel, Crow, Alpha Cruz, guys, you guys are always awesome. Huge love goes out to Yabonks and Smiley, Rose, everybody who joined us tonight. Ashley, of course, we love having you, love hearing stories and how things are going. And so we're glad we can be here for you, and so glad that you're here for us, because you are an inspiration to us as well. So thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there, and make sure to tune in next Thursday for Rags to Riches, where we're going to do something else crazy. Who knows? So thank you, guys. Love you.
Love you all. Have a great night.
No.
Bye, guys.